I'm not selling anything. I'm just telling stories on how I was able to try to get to the point where I have a garage full of 911s, and I built a business where I don't have a boss, and it's sustainable. It's not some I'm not just like selling something on TikTok that's going to be gone tomorrow and I got to go find the next thing. I'm talking about building brands on the internet. We'll get to all that. Right now, I'm going to tell you guys my backstory. So, first I want to hear this Vario Ram. When you get 4,500 RPMs, another butterfly valve on the throttle plate of this 993 opens up, and it gives it a little bit better sound. I think I might get me some leather gloves with the tips cut off and keep them in these little map pockets. You know what I mean? And just pull out my gloves when I go drive. No, so let's get back to how I was being a bad kid. Well, I was really bad. My mom's always like, you weren't a bad kid. But I mean, I was acting out. So I go, this homeless woman's always over there. I'm trying to be more proactive, where I'm trying to help other people. I'm gonna go ask this woman if she wants something to eat. You know how it's funny because sometimes you're like, I don't want to help somebody because then it's like I'm helping them stay around the area. You know what I mean? Where they're just like not gonna do anything. But I stopped thinking like that. Let me go ask this woman if she wants something to eat. I'm not putting her on camera though. Oh! I hate speed bumps. I have PTSD with the speed bumps. Look, I'm right next to a bagel place too. This might be why she hangs out here. Like, people just ignore and they just think she's probably alright. But hey, I'm just checking on my... Oh, they got two guys. Hey, you want me to get you something to eat? You do? Yeah, what do you want? She does, see? I told you guys. I got you, I'll get you something. Yep, no problem. Alright, we got a little side quest. Like Zelda. We just got a little side quest. Oh, damn, I forgot my wallet. Oh, no, I got my phone. I can't record in there because I got my phone. I got to use it as payment. Oh. Hey, at least it's not too hot out right now.
Yeah, it's nice. Been nice lately.
Yeah, it has. Alright, I'll be right back. What do you like? Like, you want like sausage, egg, and cheese or something?
Yeah, okay, well, ham, egg, and cheese.
Ham, egg, they got that in there?
Yeah.
Ham, egg, and cheese?
Yes,
Alright, you want something to drink?
Oh, no, it's okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
You gotta drink something with it.
Okay, apple juice.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. You want something to eat too, man? Sure. What do you want? Same as her? Alright, I got you. Got the whole crew out here. Hope no more roll up. They might be tapping me out. Here you go. The other guy came in there, I gave it to him.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank
yeah, no
you.
problem. Have a great day.
Yep.
See ya.
Hey,
Ooh, all right. One time I heard this parable. He said, if you get a 993, I'm just joking. No, he said there was this boy and his car broke down. His dad said, take it down to the shop to Mr. McAllister's.
Thank you very much.
He's going to help you out. So the boy takes the car down there and he's like, hey, I need to get these repairs done on my car. He's like, I was a little worried because my dad was going to be upset. He told me to come here because he said, my dad knows you. He's like, oh yeah, I know your dad. I've known your dad for years. He's like, yeah, he's like, all right, drop it off. And the boy comes back to pick it up. He's like, what do I owe you? He's like, you don't owe me anything. And he's like, what do you mean I don't owe you anything? He's like, your dad knows me. Don't worry about it. I got you. And the boy's like, no, I got to pay you. And he's like, actually, I got to run into CVS real quick while I'm here. He's like, you know what? One day you're going to find out when you have kids that when someone helps your kids, it means way more to you than when they do something to you. I didn't really realize they did either till I had kids. I have 4 kids now. And it is true. Like, someone could spit in my face, but then I find out that they, like, my son got stuck on the side of the road and the guy, like, stopped off and helped him. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, that guy's all right. So he said, well, what the story is that he's saying that if we're all like children of God, and I'm not like super religious or anything, I'm just saying that if we're all like children of God and you're helping God's children think how happy I get as a father. You help my son. You know what I'm saying? So I started thinking about everybody like that. I'm like, we're all brothers and sisters, kind of. You know what I mean? It's like I'm just helping out my dad's son, my dad's daughter. I just helped out my dad's other daughter, my half sister. How you doing? I'm about to come in here and get some candy. No, I'm just joking. Sour Patch Kids. Oh, it's worse what I'm doing right now. It's worse. I can't kick this habit, dude. 2 weeks I didn't drink one. I'm going to get another one, like a damn crackhead. If they got it. Low carb. I get the blue low carb Monster. I don't know what the hell's in it. I don't know if they're putting what they're putting in it. This one's all dusty and dirty. The last one. Look, see? It's the last one. I gotta take it. It's all dusty and dirty. They could have like feces on the can, and I'm like, oh, it's all right. I'll clean it off. All right, let's go get this thing and then go hit the streets. I'm going to hit the gym. So, I was probably like 12, maybe 11 or 12 years old, and my mom just couldn't control me. Single mom. Well, I had my stepdad, but he could only do so much. You know what I mean? So I had my mom, and I was acting out, dude. I don't remember what I was doing. I was flipping out. I was like, I put holes in the walls of my house. My mom didn't know what to do. So she called the police, and then they had an ambulance come with her because I was like a kid that was like acting like wild. And they took me. My mom was like, I can't control him. I don't know what to do. So they took me, and they took me to like a hospital, or like a place for bad kids. But what I'm getting at is this: the feeling of standing in the against the brick wall at the shop with the guys looking me up and down, calling me greenhorn, boy, whatever the names were. That was nothing, because when I was a little kid, dude, they took me to that hospital in the middle of the night. They took me to that hospital in the middle of the night, and they brought me into a room. And I remember I woke up, and there was about like 20 people standing at the doorway, and I had one of those nightgowns on. They took all my clothes, where the back doesn't close, like you're in the hospital, and your butt cheeks are hanging out. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was like outside the city, so I had a bunch of city kids, like, they're like, George has got somebody in his room, yo. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Then I got to walk down the hallway to get to find because I had woke up in there, you know. I'm like, I got to walk down the hallway and figure out what I'm supposed to, like, is there like do I have clothes? What is going on? You know, like, where am I going to, but it was an experience. What I'm getting at is, and I was in there for like 2 weeks, I think, that what it did was, I remember laying there as a little boy, but somehow I became like I told myself, all right, dude, you just got whatever situation you're in, you got to I just went through the motions. You know what I mean? I just went through the motions, even though I was uncomfortable. I think that's a powerful thing in life. Sometimes people get stuck and they're frozen because they don't have the belief in themselves. Sometimes you got to put yourself in a situation that is so depressing and uncomfortable for you to actually grow. It sounds weird, but it's true. Let's hit this Vario ramp. Oh, I'm about to really have a crackhead moment. The tab broke, so it didn't open up. I'm about to be on the side of the road with a screwdriver trying to get this thing open. Oh no, I got it. Well, I didn't put myself in that situation. I guess I did from my actions. But I'm getting off topic. So I'm standing in the shop, and I'm standing there and I'm thinking, I don't want to be here. Why am I here? I remember I was hot as hell. It was one of those humid DC mornings. If anybody knows the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, DC's especially hot. I think when George Washington wanted to move from New York to DC and have the capital in DC, they were saying, why do you want to move it to that swamp? A lot of people don't realize how actually muggy and swampy DC is in some areas. You're probably thinking, how in the world is this going to tell me how I can afford a Porsche 911? I know I'm a little all over the place, a little off topic, but well, this is one of the 911s I have. I have another one. It's a 992. It's lowered. It's black with a Tech Art body kit. It has AL13 wheels, Soul Performance exhaust, headers, cats, and a stage 2 tune. And then my son has an E30, and then we have another E30 that's in California right now with CA tunes that we're putting a 2.7 liter stroker engine in. And it's going to have a big, well, not huge, but G25 Garrett turbo with a standalone computer and It's going to be tuned and everything. So I'm excited for that. But all this stuff I'm telling you, when someone says to me like, oh dude, how'd you get sales on Shopify on the internet? It's not about the selling products on the internet. It's all this stuff I'm talking about. That literally, it was all the attrition and years of having soil put on top of the seed that made it to the point where I could have a strong tree grow and it would sustain and stand there and withstand storms. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing I think a lot of people miss. You could give somebody the blueprint on how to sell a product on the internet or something like that, but it's not really about that. It's more about the perseverance when you're going through adversity and not giving up and quitting. That's the real secret sauce. But that comes from the doing and the testing. It's just like steel or something, you know, heating it up, getting it hot as hell, putting it through hell, and then when that thing cools down, it's hard as hell and it's just can't be corrupted or destroyed. Do you get what I'm saying? But this car here, this is a 1997 993 narrow body C2 Carrera 2. I had the C2S wide body, and it was just so freaking valuable, man. Sitting in the garage, I was like, I'm selling this thing. I just felt like I couldn't enjoy it or drive it. With this one, I feel like I can rip the streets with this thing. And I didn't realize, I rode off the narrow body for a long time, and now I realize how much I love the narrow body. Okay, so I'm standing in the shop, I'm standing against the time clock, and this guy named Marty Dagenhart, which I ended up becoming good friends. I became friends with everybody. They were all we were like family in there. But I didn't know that standing there, I'll tell you that much, with my Walmart boots on. I can remember standing there, I had sweatpants on, dude, like big baggy sweatpants with like a long sleeve shirt, because I thought, oh, it'll cover my arms and keep, because I would wear a long sleeve shirt when I would, if you guys just watched the first video in this series, Earn, or how I afforded a Porsche 911. In the first video I was explaining how Mr. Mike, the guy who taught me how to work on trucks with him for a couple months down at the ports of Baltimore, I would wear a long sleeve shirt when I would work with him. So I was like, I'm wearing my long sleeve shirt. I had a little grease on it already. I'm like, it'll make me look like I know what I'm doing. I barely had any tools. I had like a little chintzy cart, like a rolling cart full of like, just like the basics, like some wrenches, some socket sets, I had a 3/8 ratchet, 1/2-inch ratchet. It was the Craftsman. I had that little Craftsman kit that's like it's like a black toolbox, and it has little drawers that slide out and has like most of the stuff you need. Oh, look at that, Calmaine Foods. That's a dividend stock. They sell eggs. But I learned a lot in that experience, because I remember that first job working with Mark Nichols. It was a 6V or an 8V92, and I remember this. We took everything off. We took the blower off the top. We took the big alternator off the back. It's a big, huge alternator, dude. Sits on the back, like on the rear part of the engine. We took the alternator off. We took everything off. We got to the heads, took the valve covers off, took everything off. And I remember we unbolt the head, and he bolts like a little eyelid on the edge of each side of the head, and we hook a chain to it, like a short chain. And he's like, all right, he's like, pull it off, like pick it up and pull it off. He used a pry bar to like break the head loose from the little dowels that it sits on. And he's like, go ahead and take it off. And I'm like, take it off? He's like, yeah, go ahead, take it off. Like, just grab it. Dude, they would muscle stuff. And I remember later on being a mechanic and thinking, man, they were teaching me to break my back. You know what I mean? I got smart the more I worked as a mechanic. But yeah, he had me like muscle the head off, and I was picking the head off with a chain. And I was like, I just remember thinking like, oh, dude, I'm gonna do this for the next 20 years. But then as I got into it and I got more and more immersed in it, but it really became part of my identity, because later on, I ended up working there for 16 years. I was the main Allison guy, and I was troubleshooting transmissions with a laptop on like transit buses, fire trucks, everything. And I loved it. It was like, if I had an Allison transmission hoodie, I'd be wearing it. You know what I mean? I'd have an Allison hat if I could. I never got one. I looked up if you could buy one, but you get what I'm saying. It was like my identity. I loved it. The thing I thought I was gonna hate ended up being the thing that provided the foundation for me to get married, have a child, buy my first house. It gave me the runway to experiment and try to make a business, and to test and make mistakes and fail and not care, because I knew that I had a solid paycheck coming in because I had a decent job. A lot of times people will want to chase the dream. They'll want to get the thing at the end of the tunnel without going through the tunnel, you know? And sometimes you need to make sure that you The dream is the side thing. The dream becomes the main thing one day. But if you try to make the dream the main thing on day one, a lot of times it collapses because it's not producing anything. And it takes a long time to grow a tree, you know? It's like people think they're gonna start picking fruit off the damn tree, but you need to have another tree that's giving you fruit so you can eat and survive while you watch your other tree grow. A lot of times people will say, like, I'm just doing this one thing. Like, I want to start this, or I want to jump into this. So that was kind of a good thing, too, looking back, that I couldn't really think that I'd ever really put my finger on at the time. You might never get to the point where you have the foundation you need to set your feet to, like, propel yourself forward because you can't find anything that you really want to do or that you love. Sometimes you got to do something that you really don't like doing. And then you find out later on that it wasn't so bad because you gave it a chance. I'm just saying, on YouTube, you see all these videos and all these channels of these guys like hypercar shopping and things like that. And you're like, how do these guys get the money to do that? You know, like, nobody really tells you. A lot of times people get celebrated into the light for all the things they've been doing in the dark for years. And then it looks like it was just some overnight thing. So, like, somebody said that band Kings of Leon, they came on the scene or something. I remember. And then my brother or somebody said, like, you know, that band's been around for like 25 years, like playing in, like, they've been around forever. He told me, he's like, and they just had a song just take off. Like, that's how it always is, you know. But most people don't want that moment, you know, standing against a cinder block wall, everybody looking you up and down, putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation that's gonna suck day in and day out for 16 years because you think it's gonna be like a prison sentence. But in a weird way, it's kind of like unlocking the prison doors and opening up the cell. You're putting yourself in some weird, crappy situation that actually kind of sets you free, but because you're testing yourself. And then you start to believe in yourself and you build confidence and you get these little wins. And then that translates into some other thing. Whether it's me going into a hospital bed and with a bunch of people and not knowing who the heck I was as a little kid, or going and standing in the shop. It translates into something later on where you start to embrace the thing that you're hiding from. Like the thing that you think is your weakness and the thing that you're trying to keep a secret is actually your superpower. You're just kind of looking at it wrong. You know what I mean? I look at those experiences and I'm like, oh, this guy's got no idea what that's like. Like, somebody might be watching this video and they went to jail or something. They're like, they hide that from people. They meet people and they're like, what do you do? And they bury all that stuff. Or where are you from? And they say like a landmark near where they live, but they don't want to say the neighborhood. You get what I'm saying? Like, dude, embrace that. You know why? Because the guy that's asking you that question, he's trying to create some pecking order or some hierarchy in the relationship where he's like trying to determine who you are based on your pedigree. But your pedigree is real. You know what I mean? His might be too, but I'm just saying, you're cut from a different cloth. But that's your freaking superpower. That guy can't be in your neighborhood. You can roll back up into your neighborhood. He can't. You get what I'm saying? That's part of your identity. That's part of your superpower. So the thing you're hiding from, dude, your adversity has an equal seat of opportunity, like Napoleon Hill said. His son was born with no ears, ended up becoming the top salesman in the hearing aid industry. You get what I'm saying? You don't know what the heck it's gonna. You don't know what the thing you're hiding can do for you if you embrace it. So put it on a pedestal. Don't hide from it. It's part of your story. It's who you are. Be proud of it. You know what I mean? Who's the other person to say what's right or wrong? We might die one day. Wherever we go, we might find out that the way we lived or the things that you faced and went through in your life were actually the things that really made you more righteous, you know? Or have integrity or made you more humble compared to the other guy. You don't know how the guy's really living, you know? So don't ever compare yourself to somebody. But I'll see you guys on another video. I know trust me, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to tell you how you can afford the Porsche 911. No, the Porsche for me is the anchor for my story because it's not just a car. I'm not driving this car to be ostentatious and look a certain way. This is, for me, a symbol of all these things I'm talking about. All these stories in my life. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'll see you guys in another video. Appreciate you guys.
Ooh. All right. Woo. This is light work.